Hello and welcome to day two. What a glorious shot of the city of Wroclaw, the third biggest in the whole of Poland. And it's a big old country. If you don't remember studying Poland at school, then you may have forgotten how big the actual country is. Have a look at it on a map. You'll probably surprise yourself. My name is Rory McAllister. Thanks very much for coming along for day two of the Under-23 European Shooting Championships for 2026. There is our schedule for today. I know, it's a busy one, huh? So 11:30 local time for our first event, the 10-metre air pistol men's under-23. And then we have the pistol women's events, and then we move outside for both skeet finals, skeet women and skeet men, and then later on today we finish off with an air rifle mixed team final. So pretty busy. If you'd like to join us throughout the day, then you're more than welcome to do so. So I myself am joined here by Boshan here, who's a stork. Aren't you supposed to be delivering babies somewhere? You're supposed to take babies and deliver them outside people's houses? Yeah, okay. Well, maybe Boshan's going to go off and do that. Meanwhile, we'll be busy with a pistol final coming up in just a second. I even like the way you're just in the Polish colours as well. It's as if someone's really thought about this, haven't they? You know, with the red and white, Someone's thought about it. Someone's thought about it. Some with their brain. Boshan the stork will be keeping the crowd going. He'll certainly be keeping us entertained. Or they. I don't know. Is it a him? Is it a her? I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. I'm just being handed pens now. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so there's a pistol on screen. That's what they look like. They've all been tested by equipment control. That happened in the preparation earlier along today. The pistols are tested for weight to make sure that they fall no more than 1.5 kilos, as you can see on your screen. They're also tested for width as well. Essentially what happens is the pistol gets put into a box with a sliding top, and when the sliding top goes across, if the pistol fits in, all is well. Let's have a look back at the highlights though of the qualifying earlier today. Well, it certainly was a highly competitive session in qualifying earlier today, and that's how it finished. Victor Kopovolda of the home nation holding out for 5.81, quite a way in front of some of the others. Lots of them banked up on 5.77 and down to 5.75, and here's how they then officially line up from firing point A right through and down to firing point H. So the home nation of Poland in with a shout of a medal here. 3 athletes in this final. Serbia also once again strong representation. They've had a great European Championship so far. They're on the medals table. Who knows where the medals will go today. If you would like to follow us on social media, just follow the QR codes. It's as simple as that. And I'm sure that's what that lady is explaining to him. Yes, him next to me, he's following us on social media. Yeah, he's following us. And sometimes he just needs a QR code. I'm sure that's, yeah, okay, I'll go off and scan the QR code. I'm sure that's what that conversation was about. Pretty sure. Okay, right, well, if you just joined us, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube, and you're just in time for the introductions of the athletes.
On firing point H, competing as individual neutral athletes, is Yuri Kratsov.
And Yuri Kratsov, first to arrive, an independent neutral athlete.
Yuri is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Mikita Dambash. On firing point G, representing Poland, is Piotr Bujewicz.
And Piotr Bujewicz of Poland, the first of the 3 Polish athletes.
Piotr's coach is Mrs. Beata Bartko-Kwiatkowska, but we will see her a little bit later. We have a lot of Polish men in this final. On firing point F, representing Serbia, is Matija Kwasniewski.
So Maciej Kwasniewski, the first of the two Serbians, first to arrive, 17 years old.
Matija is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Sasha Iker. On firing point E, representing once again Poland, is Wiktor Kopivoda.
Wiktor Kopivoda, so popular, being chased by Boshan the Stork.
Once again, the coach here is Mrs. Beata Bartko-Kwiatkowska. We will see her in a minute, I'm sure. On firing point D, representing once again Serbia, is Uroš Gajic.
And Uroš Gajic in the pistol mixed team yesterday, so no stranger to the finals hall.
Uroš is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Dejan Bajkic. On firing point C, representing once again Poland, is Ivan Rakicki.
Ivan Rakicki, you think back to Seoul and the 3 gold medals that he achieved there. Will it be another gold today?
Is the coach of Polish team, Mrs. Beata Bartko-Kwiatkowska. Give her a round of applause now. On firing point B, representing Georgia, is Ioane Kvaresia.
And Ioane Kvaresia of Georgia, 21 years old now.
Ioane is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Levan Kadagidze. And on firing point A, last but not least, representing Turkey, is Fahrettin Caner.
So Caner of Turkey is last to arrive now on firing point A.
Fahrettin Caner is accompanied by his coach, Mr. Murat Orgun. Jury member in charge of this final is Mr. Mateusz Zagrzewski from Poland. Accompanied by second jury member, Mr. Georgi Papapanayotou from Greece. And the chief range officer for this final event is Mrs. Violeta Kotynia from Poland.
Take your positions.
Well, the athletes have been told to take their positions, and they're doing so. So we ask you to take yours as well. Thanks for joining us on the ESC video stream. We will get through the YouTube live chat comments in just a second. But first of all, let's just have a quick peek of this animation video describing air pistol.
Welcome to the first final of a long day here in the shooting range Bucharest.
Well, a quick explanation of air pistol and how it works. Here's equipment control, a sneak peek behind the scenes. This is where you can see the pistols being tested for the trigger pull. So that's tested by equipment control. They also weigh the pistol as well on the scale. And you saw that box with the sliding perspex top. The pistol is placed into that box. It needs to fit within that box. And then if the lid can slide back and forth, then the pistol is also under the allowed width, because a bit of width on a bit of pistol could give advantage to an athlete, so they like to make sure everything's fair and equal. So then, let's have a close look at the athletes. First of all, Turkey and Caner, who was a gold medalist yesterday in the mixed team. And that man, once again, Murat Organ, the coach, coasted that Turkish team through to the gold medal. Well, Leven Kavagetse, the coach of Georgia, sits in the background, arguably. Is there an argument? I don't think there is. Probably one of the nicest people in shooting. He has to be. Always has a smile, Leven. Will we get one? If he knows the camera's on him, he'll smile, that's for sure. And his athlete is Iwani Karesa of Georgia. Well, here's Ivan Rakitsky, who absolutely stunned the world in Seoul. And I say stunned in a good way, as in it wasn't a surprise. It was just a stunning performance. Brilliant. 3 gold medals from Ivan. And he's certainly capable of getting a medal here today. So Uroš Galić of Serbia is the first of the 2 Serbians. And this could be his first major medal on the world stage. Although he has competed across World Championships, Junior World Championships, World Cups, European Championships. So certainly knows how to perform on the world stage. Wiktor Kopowoda of Poland. One of the best talents we've seen in recent years. A European champion in 2024. That was in the 25-meter pistol. And has many other medals from Junior World Cups and all sorts of other competitions. So Matija Kavaleski of Serbia, the second of the Serbians, has also competed at World Championships and ISSF World Cups. So let's see how he goes today. Serbia riding high on the medal table at the moment.
So audience, how are you feeling? Everything clear? What is going on? Can I hear you?
So next athlete from Poland
Push into this. Let's put our
is
hands
Piotr
together.
Bujewicz.
Let's give them one big round of applause. Let's wake up the podium. Yeah.
Here he is, 21 years old. He's competed at Junior World Championships and European Championships such as Burgas earlier this year and also Osijek last year. Pressure, of course, when you are shooting for the home nation. And then our final athlete on firing point H, here's Yuri Kratsov. He's 19 years old, bronze medalist at the Junior World Cup across 10 meters in 2025. Has also competed at World Championships and Junior World Championships such as Seoul earlier this year in the 50-meter pistol. So 10 seconds to go. Sit back, or maybe even stand up if you're that nervous, depending on who you're here to support.
Stop, unload.
Well, here we go. The 10-meter air pistol men's under-23 European Shooting Championship final, live for you in Wroclaw in Poland. Our first event of 5 finals that we're going to bring to you today. So 2 series of 5 shots, and then we move to individual shots. And the eliminations start after shot 12, and then eliminations every 2 shots thereafter, right the way through to the decision of the medals. Who will take gold, silver, and bronze? We're about to find out. If you are joining us on YouTube, thanks very much for doing so. We'll go to the YouTube live chat, get through some of your comments. If you're watching on Facebook, or if you're watching back at another time, then thanks very much for dropping in and coming back. Do feel free to share the videos amongst the people you know. So crowd are here, they're ready. CRO is ready. Let's go.
Start.
Well, some of the noise and hooters and whistles that we had yesterday has now come back. The 10.8 from Kopowoda. That's a brilliant way to start a final, a real confidence booster. So you can see the athletes in between their shots. They check their balance and get their breathing into regulation so that their shot rhythm is where they want it to be. Bijevic, a bit of a disaster there, 7.7. You can't even see that on our graphic. You can only really allow just one shot like that. I mean, any more duff shots from Bijevic in this final already, and it could be curtains, it could be over. It's that serious at this level. So slightly better this time, 9.7. That's getting there. And in a situation like this is where you just got to gather yourself. Just forget about the last shot, even when it's a high score. If it's 10.9, forget about it. Just do what you do in training. Go into the next shot. The mental discipline, the focus, the control, and just shoot as if it's your first shot each time. Best way. 10.6 from Gajic. Great shot from the 19-year-old from Serbia. Voda, another high 10s, 10.7. Is he the one to chase? 51 total from Karesa of Georgia. Pretty decent. Well, he's finished, but feeling the heat. It's just a little bit sticky in here. It's really hot outside. I would say it's hotter today than it was yesterday. And whilst we've got the air conditioning on in here, I think it was only switched on fairly recently, so just fighting against a bit of mugginess here. It's just there's a slight sweat. You know when your body is just about sweating and no more, and I mean like just a little bit. It's like that. That's how it feels. Which isn't comfortable for the pistol shooters. I mean, you can see them wiping their hands on towels and trying to keep their hands as dry as possible for better grip on the pistol. So Kratsu now last to finish. Last shot was a 10.4 and brings it in at 49.4. Let's have a look then. Well, the 51 total, which I said earlier was decent, is enough to lead. And really, in a pistol final like this, 51 can get you there. 51.5 will certainly put you in with a fighting chance, but at the moment, Karesa of Georgia in front. And there's a gap of 0.8 as well between first and second. Well, interesting down towards the bottom, 7th and 8th, both with differences of 2.0 or more, a 2.1 and a 2.2. Already quite a way adrift, and that's after the first series of 5. So some work needed from the Serbian and Polish athlete to try and claw their way back into contention to try and stay in this final. So second series of 5 now. If you are just joining us, 4 minutes 10 is already ticking by. Another consistent shot from Karesa of Georgia, 10.2. And Air of Turkey with a 10.5. That's more like it. That's where you want to be at this level. And Bijevic into the 10 ring, 10.4. Great shot. Bijevic still in 8th place, so needs some more mid to high 10s. And your fortunes can change. Voda, bit of a disastrous shot, 7.8. Voda this time, much better, 10.5. Well, some shots in the Mid-10s coming in, Voda, much better, 10.6. And that helps him stay and hover around mid-table at the moment. Just those few earlier disastrous shots has cost him. Meanwhile, here's the competition leader. And Caressa first to finish again, total of 102.3. Very good. This time, I believe then that second series was 51.2, whereas the first was 51. So an improvement from Caressa. Well, Caressa really has finished way in front of the others. I don't know why he's shaking his head. Too hot, I think. You're in front, though. It's okay. Just keep fanning yourself, Iwani. Well, I wonder what's going through the mind of Levan Kalegetse. Very decent pistol athlete in his own right, and shooting runs strong in his family. A bit like the Force in Star Wars. It runs strong in your family. So Yuri's last shot, 9.4. Currently in 5th. And another 9.7. Keeps him in 5th place. Rakitsky, the 3-time gold medalist in Seoul a few months ago. Remarkable. He shot so well. Oh, finishes out with a 10.6. Well, Rakitsky's still outside the podium places. He's in 4th at the moment. But Kalesiak of Georgia has increased his lead. There's a gap. It was at 0.8. It's now doubled. 1.6. Impressive stuff from this 21-year-old from Georgia. Bronze medalist at the World Cup in Granada a few years ago. And also a bronze medalist in the European Championships in the mixed team junior. That was in Tallinn, 2023. I certainly remember that competition very well. We had a great time in Tallinn. It was -5. Snowing outside, but nice and warm and cozy inside. Well, even some of the shotguns are here. I can see Charlie Worrell of Great Britain and also Christian Schofield, one of the coaches, part of the British team. I think it's always nice when you see athletes from other disciplines coming in to watch something that they don't compete in. I've often wanted to do a feature as well where you just switch it up. You give shotgun a go with a pistol and rifle and see how they get on, and throw some of the pistol guys out onto the shotgun range and see what happens. I bet you some of them are just naturally brilliant anyway. It's bound to happen. Anyway, our focus is now back on this 10-meter air pistol men's final. And now we're into these individual shots. The next shot, shot 12, determines 8th place. Right, Bujewicz of Poland. Those disastrous shots earlier have come back to haunt him. A total of 103.3, and he's 0.9 behind between 8th and 7th. And then there's a 2.7 gap between 7th and 6th. So Klautzel's looking safe as long as he stays within the high 9s or early 10s or even higher. Bujewicz, it's looking shaky. So Kvasnevski in 7th for Serbia. And Bujewicz with a 10.2, the Serbian with an 8.8, and there's been a switch around, and Bujewicz has managed to survive. Well, it just shows you it can happen. So the first elimination from Serbia to leave this final in 8th place is Matija Kvasnevski.
Representing Serbia, it goes to Matija Kvasnevski.
Well, Serbia still have one athlete left. And Gajic is currently in 2nd place.
We will continue with individual shots on command.
So Bujewicz of Poland managed to change his fortunes, moved up from 8th to 7th place, still 2.0 behind, but You still never know. That's a bit of a gap to try and close and catch up, though. So looking at the YouTube live chat, thanks to Arda, hello, who's here to support Turkey. Hello to Getchim as well. And Mom Chadia, hello to you. Hello to Addy, who's joining us from New York City. Must be early in the morning there. Hello to Soulcore 33. And hello to Eredisu as well. And some others joining in on the YouTube live chat. Thanks for doing so. So that was shot 13. Next shot to decide 7th place. And now Air and Karesia are tied at the top, 131. Well, Iwani hit a 9.3 there, and Faratin with a 10.7. And that's how now they're both locked on the same score at the top. Now, this is a real test for Karesia, particularly because he's led for so long into this final. He's now joined for the lead. Let's see how he handles the pressure. Air, meanwhile, is already a gold medalist from yesterday, so has that confidence from the mixed team air pistol. 10.5 from the Georgian, pretty good. Air with a 10.3, so the Georgian takes the lead by 0.2. Meanwhile, next elimination is Piotr Bujewicz of Poland. So the first of 3 athletes from the home nation. Nice to see he takes a wave to the crowd. Certainly up against the caliber of some of these athletes and the quality that have made it through to this 10-meter air pistol final. That's a fairly decent result for Piotr, particularly because of those early shots, which, as we said at the beginning of the program, it can just come back to bite you, and it has. So Yuri Krautsul is a fair bit behind in 6th place. 2 more shots to decide 6th. This is shot 15. Well, Kalesa there's got away with that slightly because Air has also hit a 9.5. Interesting, though. Meanwhile, Krautsu, the one that was in danger of elimination, with a 10.5. And Rakitsky, slam, 10.7. So Krautsov in 6th place. And 3.0 behind, despite that last shot of a 10.5. Well, it's close at the top because Karesia is just 0.2 in front of Air of Turkey. Going to be a close one to the finish. Rakitsky creeping up into the medal positions, now in 3rd. And Ivan is only 0.5 behind in 3rd place. So next elimination upon us, this is shot 16 to decide 6th place. So Gaich with a 10, Air with a 10.4. Kopivoda, that's not going to help things, that 9. Karesia, good shot, 10.3. And Krautsov with an 8.4. He'll be leaving this final in 6th. So the individual neutral athlete is next to go. A final total of 153.7. And 6th place is very respectable in a final like this.
For the next competition shot, load.
Well, 5 athletes remain. 6th place now decided. Kopivoda of Poland, 2.3 behind. He's got 2 shots to try and close that gap. That's a bit of a task. The interesting bit's going to be the battle for the medals because Karesia of Georgia is only 0.1 in front. It's so close. This is a real test of nerve for these 5 remaining athletes, particularly those in the 3 medal places. Rakitsky, Air and Karesia.
Well, now in 5th place, facing elimination is Victor Kopivoda.
Oh, Kopivoda's done pretty well. He's closed that gap to 1.9.
Still second.
But he's going to need one of the others to hit an absolute disaster here to try and stay in. And then he needs a decent shot himself. So it's looking likely, still don't know, it's not confirmed, that Kopivoda will be next to go. And then Poland's hope of a medal lies with Ivan Rakitsky. So words of encouragement from the crowd. Rakitsky is up to 3rd. He's just crept up there, just snuck in. Karesia, decent shot. He's still in the 10 ring. Needs to keep it there if he's to stay on for a medal. Kopivoda with a 10.4. And Rakitsky in the 10 ring as well, a 10.2. Well, Kopivoda of Poland is next to go. He's in 5th. Final total, 178.0. Well, on his day, certainly capable of a medal. Just not today for Victor.
Changing that advantage. Now it's only 0.2 difference between 1st and 2nd place.
So Gajic of Serbia has been hanging on in there just outside the medal places. You can see how close it is, a gap of 0.8. A great drone shot as well of the finals hall that we're in right here in Wroclaw. Down to the final 4, and they're all together on firing points A through to D. Well, Karesia on the right of your picture still leads. And Air from Turkey on the left is chasing. He's only 0.2 behind. Oh, Rakitsky, ouch. Oh, 7.9. It's not even on our graphic. Outside the 8 ring. What's happened to Ivan today? Muscle cramp or in pain? He doesn't look good, does he? I mean, very rarely see an athlete bent over like that. Is he okay? Is he going to be sick? Is he all right? I hope so. He looked there for a minute like he was going to faint. I mean, he knows his medal chances are gone, really. He's still only 1.1 behind, though. You just never know. But Ivan Rakitsky is not looking great here. Well, they're from Poland. They don't look concerned. Maybe everything is okay. So the 3-time gold medalist from Seoul finds himself in 4th position. Last shot was a 7.9. And now Rakitsky, here he goes, shooting to try and stay in the final and make it through to the podium. Meanwhile, Gajic of Serbia has done ever so well to creep into the bronze medal position. Gajic with a 9.7. Rakitsky 10.4. It's not enough to close the gap. There's still a 0.4 difference. And Ivan Rakitsky of Poland has missed out on a medal in this 10-meter air pistol final. What a disappointing day for him. Just trudges his safety flag back into the pistol. Looks devastated. Oh, you got to feel for him. He's had a great year up until now. Well, I'm sure he'll be back for the 25-meter events. But Ivan Rakitsky, you can see from Poland, drops down out of the podium positions. That's how hard it is. That's how tough it is. You just never know. Rakitsky's gone. Well, if you just joined us, we're into the medal stages of this final. Turkey guaranteed another. Air took a gold yesterday in the mixed team. Meanwhile, Rakitsky devastated. No words of comfort even from the coach. Oh, shooting can be a cruel place. So Serbia, Georgia, Turkey, all guaranteed medals here. Gajic in the 9s, 9.3. Kresia in the 10s, 10.3. And Air with a 9.7. Interesting. We've got a 0.1 gap at the top. Wow. Well, the gap between third and second, that's 2.4. And this shot is for bronze. It's unlikely that that 2.2 gap, 2.4 gap even, will be closed. However, we have seen shots in the 7 ring throughout this final, not just once, multiple times. The nerves in the occasion, and I think just that bit of humidity isn't helping with the grip on the pistols. Better from Gajic, 10.3. The Serbians love it. And no disaster this time from Kresia, 10.4, and a 9.6 is good enough for Air at the moment to guarantee at least the silver. Meanwhile, Serbia have another medal. They've started day 1 in style, and Uroš Gajic of Serbia, he's bagged a bronze. Whew, right, well, let's have a look at the top, shall we? Gajic confirmed as the bronze medalist, and now Air versus Kresia, and a gap of 0.9 with 2 shots to go. Have we got a shoot-off on our hands coming up here, do you think?
For the next competition shot, load.
With the way this final's been going, and that 0.9 gap,
Start.
it's possible. Here we go, shot 23. Kresia likely to shoot first. So still, great control, great breathing, everything you wanted from a pistol athlete. 10.2. The gap is 11.1, so Air needs a 10.9 really to really close it up. A 10.1 and a gap of 1.0 as we go to the final shot. Well, the crowd talking amongst themselves, the nerves, the murmuring. Levan Kedegachki, the Georgian coach, is on the edge of his seat. I know Levan pretty well. He's going to be partying for the rest of the year if they get a gold here. Meanwhile, you've got to remember that Air of Turkey, the left on your screen, is looking for his 2nd gold in as many days. A 9.8, a 10.9 required to take a gold here. Can it be done? And oh, it's good. It's a 10.3, and it's enough for silver. So Fadatin Air, who took a gold yesterday, comes into this final and takes silver. Meanwhile, Georgia are victorious. Ioannis Kresia of Georgia, final total 241.4. Georgia have their first gold medal of this under-23 European Shooting Championships. And I'm sure they're going to have a delighted coach as well, Levan Kedegachki, who's done a great job coasting Kresia to that gold. And that was a real test of nerve and composure. And he really deserves that, Ioannis. He really does. So here we have the official announcement. So Uroš Gajic of Serbia. Serbia have another medal, adding to those from yesterday. It's bronze. So Fadatin Can Air of Turkey adds a silver to his gold from yesterday in the mixed team. And Ioannis Kresia of Georgia is the European champion. And I'm sure it'll take a couple of moments for it to sink in, and he'll realise what he's achieved. Fantastic performance from the Georgian. And they've really got some quality amongst the pistol squad, particularly. They're pretty strong. So there's confirmation of how it finished. Real disappointment for Ivan Rakicki, representing the home nation of Poland. He looked so dejected when he left, and I'm sure he can gather himself for the 25-metre events. Right, let's have a look back at the highlights, shall we? And there were plenty of them in this final. Well, if ever there was a final showing a brilliant display of how to take a lead and then try and maintain it and stay there, well, it was just there, right there in front of our very eyes. Ioannis Karesia of Georgia, who hung on, really had to fight at certain times. There was a tie for the lead, and then he pulled clear, and a real test of composure and everything you'd need as a pistol athlete. A brilliant display from Karesia of Georgia with the gold medal. Still to come then, that's the rest of our schedule for the rest of today. Do join us for continued live coverage of day 2 here at the 2026 European Shooting Championships for under 23s. Well, from myself, Rory McAllister, from our entire crew, we'll say cheerio for now, and we'll catch you later on today for more live coverage here on day 2.